make a video and comment on some of the discussion board posts that were made in the first week's module. I thought generally the discussion board posts were very good. I appreciate everyone's participation. A lot of interesting people that are enrolled in the class. I highly encourage you to get to know your classmates. That's certainly one of the advantages of the MBA program, is that you can learn from your other classmates, learn about the opportunities that they've experienced, and so please take advantage of that. So just a couple of comments. I thought most everyone understood the concept of opportunity cost well, but I want to clarify that the opportunity cost is not the sum of all of the opportunity that you could have undertaken, but it is actually the value of the next best alternative. So some of you said that the opportunity cost was of pursuing this degree and taking this class included maybe working and studying and pursuing hobbies, and you listed all of those things, which may be true in its totality, but I want you to just make sure that you understand that the opportunity cost is the value of the next best alternative, not the sum of all of these other ones. And most of you also properly understood that an opportunity cost is not zero. Even though it might be lower for some individuals, perhaps if you're in school and maybe you don't have as much experience, the opportunity cost may be lower because the salary that you might be foregoing by pursuing a degree is less than the salary that maybe a mid-career executive is giving up to pursue the MBA degree. So the opportunity cost is never zero, but it certainly might be higher or lower than others. I also appreciated that several of you really took the time to read each other's posts and correct or provide some more guidance on what the concepts of the concepts were. In particular, I noticed Danielle Brindisi did a really nice job of reading one of the classmates' discussion board posts and asking some insightful questions just to clarify the concepts. So I thought that was helpful. Several other individuals, when they made their discussion board posts, they also provided very helpful links to resources for salaries. So Heidi Sturgeon posted a link. She happens to be a global HR director, so she's certainly very familiar with this literature and what is out there, but she provided a link to all of the expectations for what you might expect to earn based on having a degree with an MBA and different specializations and concentrations. So really appreciate Heidi's contribution to the board, and encourage you to read that. Nan Liu made another post where she provided very detailed salary requirements and salary expectations for accountants, and she looked at the the BLS, the government's Bureau of Labor Statistics website, where they provided that information. And that was really what I was looking for in this discussion board post when I asked you what your break even was. I didn't want you to just be very generic and say, well, I think I'll break even in 5-10 years. I did want you to provide at least a concrete example of what you thought the costs and the benefits were. It didn't have to be exact. You didn't have to say, I think my salary is going to go up by $10,000. But I did want you to mention that based on a conversation or based on the culture of my work, I know that people who have an advanced degree typically see a 10% raise. Something along those lines, and that's something to keep in mind moving forward. When I grade the discussion board posts, I want to make sure that to receive full credit, you've done the research and you can justify your answers. I don't want this to just be a course where you provide your opinions. While I do care about your opinions and your opinions are important, I want you to justify your statements with factual information. So something to keep in mind, I was very generous with grading so far. I haven't finished grading everyone's, so that won't happen until the end of this week. So if you don't have a grade yet for your discussion board post, it will come by by the end of the day on Sunday. But the other thing I wanted to mention was spelling and grammar. Again, I don't think you have to be using the Queen's English, but I do want you to make sure that the spelling is correct, grammar is appropriate. And again, I was generous this time, but for future discussion board posts, if there are consistent times when you make spelling mistakes or mistakes in your grammar, it's not a problem to copy and paste your post into Word just to make sure everything's correct. I think that's all I really wanted to say about the discussion board for this week. Again, the results were pretty good. So next week is spring break. We're not going to have class next week. And continue to do your homework and your discussion board posts for this week. But if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. You can email me. My email address is m.jones@uc.edu, and my cell is 513-276-7093. Thanks a lot. I hope you have a great spring break. Bye.